Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My channel name is Atinybong, where I am just a clown Atini trying to and maybe failing from time to time at making sense of the ATEEZ universe. Before we start, this video consists of 4 parts. We will start with very short opening notes which talks key things to keep in mind as we proceed. Then we will discuss the moon theory that then transitions into the diary girl identity explanation. After clearing up those 2 connect theories, we will come back to scenes from the music video that hinted the presence of Hala ATEEZ and connections to the Treasure series. Finally, we'll get to how the MV connects with member roles in the Treasure series and recap how all these theories tie together. Timestamps for each section will be in the description below, as well as a readable version, complete with photos and screenshots. So without further ado, let's get to the ATEEZ Fever Part 1 Inception Theory. Before we begin, let's discuss important things to keep in mind. Firstly, I believe that looking in the MV itself is not gonna give us enough answers. However, the MV actually gives us a lot of hints that can direct us elsewhere, both to the Treasure series MVs and also their B-sides. For this theory, I'm going to be focusing less on making a timeline of things because the MV doesn't seem to tell a sequential story. However, if you're looking for a full timeline, I already broke it down in my Fever Film Theory, where I talked about the full film timeline and also member roles. So without further ado, let's get into the theories. The first theory we will discuss will be the moon theory. This theory will eventually connect to the diary girl theory. The moon theory is important because of all the hints that ATEEZ has associated with the moon. However, if you notice, nothing in the MV says anything about the moon. This is confusing because, during their crescent party, there were multiple nods at the moon, and also when Yoonho talked about a full moon in A News. So why is there nothing about the moon in the music video? The key point to remember is what I mentioned earlier about the music video giving us hints and directions, rather than straight-up answers. If you notice, when Hongjung stands in front of the monitors, the colors look very familiar. Why? Because the yellow and blue from those monitors are similar to the colors depicted in their Crescent Party teaser poster. In the poster we see a bed and of course, the moon. On the left side above a bed we see a crescent moon. On the other side we see the words become a full moon. Therefore, to understand this we need to understand the symbolisms of the moon. The first phase, or waxing crescent moon, means intention. We can interpret this as the crescent moon being symbolic of ATEEZ beginning their journey. However, a crescent moon also symbolizes psychosis, meaning someone being unable to identify what is real or unreal. Sound familiar? In my Fever Film Theory, I suggested that ATEEZ is drawing inspiration from the 2010 movie Inception. If this is true, then Hongjung not only can control time, but the hourglass allows him to enter other members' consciousness and see their dreams. In Inception, the repeated line is "dream in a dream." At first this sounds very confusing, but it actually alludes to the fact that ATEEZ cannot determine what is real or not real anymore. Throughout the entire Inception MV we see the members in a sort of dream sleep and look very distressed. Next, the full moon symbolizes unity and the sealing of intention. What this means for the ATEEZ universe is that whenever we have mentions of a full moon, this can mean that the members have accomplished something or come together. The full moon lyrics are referenced in Say My Name music video as well. The Say My Name music video has been confirmed by ATEEZ to be the prelude of the Treasure journey, and therefore when the members come together. Finally we get to the waxing crescent moon. This second crescent means a warning in the end. Therefore, crescent, like ATEEZ and Hala ATEEZ, has 2 sides. There is the side to ATEEZ that is full of hope and dreams. But also Hala ATEEZ that is darker and creates obstacles in their path. I won't discuss too much about Hala ATEEZ here, but in the Inception MV, although they are not directly seen, their presence is hinted at, which I will explain in the Hala ATEEZ and Treasure series connection portion. So what does the moon itself rather than the phases mean? The moon itself symbolizes life and rebirth. This is a crucial hint. In my Fever Film Theory, I theorized that the Treasure series is alternate timelines, each being another dimension that Hongjung creates to help save the members. Thus, Hongjung and the members are in a sort of time loop. At the end of each loop they get reborn into the next and start over again. Thus, the Inception music video actually gives us a lot of hints to help confirm past theories and also the new information from the Fever film. We can assume that ATEEZ are therefore in a time loop and that Hongjung has access to their dreams, as hinted by the colors behind him in the monitors linked to crescent and moon symbolism. Related to the moon theory is the diary girl theory. At the beginning of Fever film we hear the narration of a girl. At first we thought that she was just a narrating voice. But through the opening VCR of Aircon and also her voice being shown again in the Dear Diary intro track of the album, she is a lot more important than we had originally realized. In the opening VCR of Aircon we see her holding the book with the hourglass cover and reading it. The important thing to note here is that Hongjung hands her the hourglass, which is quite confusing. Another confusing thing is that both in the VCR and also Dear Diary, she refers to people as children. However, the girl is portrayed as younger than ATEEZ. If she's referring to ATEEZ as children, how does this make sense? My theory for this is that she is not really a child. She is the symbolism of something that is much older. She is the physical manifestation of both freedom and dreams. ATEEZ's tracks have also used a girl's voice before. When? In the Crescent track of their summer EP3 album. Here again we see the words Crescent, hinting to us that these things are connected and important. The Crescent track in EP3 gives us hints to the girl's role. In the album, Crescent takes place between illusion and wave. It is commonly understood that illusion, as the name implies, is an illusion and dream set up by Hala ATEEZ to trap ATEEZ. However, they are able to escape and wake up in the Wave music video. Between the two tracks is Crescent, where a girl says, "Open your eyes," while in the background, there is the sound of a clock ticking. These are important because opening your eyes means waking up. The clock ticking can be connected to time and the hourglass. So why is Crescent track so important? If the girl is the one associated with Crescent track, and we understand Crescent track is the transition from dreams to reality, then the girl could be symbolic of leaving dreams, and by tangent, the power of entering dreams. This makes sense because Hongjung is the only other one who can control dreams. If Hongjung and the girl meet, then the girl is a symbolism of Hongjung's ability to control the members' dreams and dimensions. It would make sense that Hongjung can share the hourglass freely with the little girl. However, not only dreams, but the girl can also represent freedom. If we assume that the girl is not actually a person but a manifestation of something else, then it would be easy for the something else to change form. In Fever film, Songhwa meets a girl who inspires him to step over his imaginary boundaries and be free. He even receives a bracelet that says "Be Free." The same scene is seen again in the Inception MV. Therefore the girl here means freedom. If this is the same girl as the one in the narration, VCR, and Dear Diary track, then Songhwa is not the only member that has come across her. If you notice, in Dear Diary, she says, "Look at the stars in the night sky and become the person who shines bright like those stars." But, the stars that I looked up to in the sky did not shine at all. So I continued to walk, looking down at the floor. Does this phrase sound familiar? If so, then you've probably seen very similar words in Yo Song's illustrated diary entry. In the Fever film, Yo Song meets the members and gains a sense of freedom. Therefore, if Yo Song gains freedom, and the girl mirrors his words in the teaser diary entry, then we can assume that the girl not only represents dreams, but also freedom. Now we can finally discuss scenes from the music video itself. However, like I said before, we must keep in mind that the scenes from the music video give us hints to look at music videos elsewhere, rather than giving us concrete answers. As we know from the Fever film, Hala ATEEZ is still present. However, we don't see Hala ATEEZ at all in the music video. However, if you look at the set that they dance in and the lighting, there are clear inferences to Hala ATEEZ's presence and influence. In the room where they dance, the ceiling shows fire. Not only that, but they get lit with red and blue light. Hala ATEEZ is usually associated with fire, and this is an obvious nod at Hala ATEEZ being present, but not physically there. Not only that, but the transitions between red, blue and green lighting are reminiscent of another music video. Which one? Hala Hala. At the end of Hala Hala we hear sirens in the background. The lighting in the Inception looks a lot like the switching lights of a police siren. Thus, through the hints of fire in the room and also how Jongho and Songhwa's scenes are burning with fire, we can assume that although Hala ATEEZ is not there, their influence still remains. So what is keeping Hala ATEEZ from physically being shown? The water. Water is the most simple way to fight fire, and the members are dancing in water. Although the room they are in is lit with red and surrounded by fire, they are safe because they are dancing in water. Water is also an archetypal symbol of truth and loyalty. If the members are surrounded by water, then the fact that they are all together in the water means that they are together and loyal. One of Hala ATEEZ's goals is to not let ATEEZ achieve their dreams. Hala ATEEZ is representative of selfishness and extreme ambition. If real ATEEZ maintain their bond and trust to each other, Hala ATEEZ cannot attack them. Therefore, Inception MV hints that Hala ATEEZ is still present. But, because of the members' loyalty and trust, Hala ATEEZ cannot attack them. At least not yet. To conclude, let's first recap what Inception MV has told us, and then discuss what parts of my previous member roles theory from the Fever film has changed or not changed. Inception MV gives us hints to find answers elsewhere. It is likely that there will be hints hidden in the lyrics of the B-sides, and also previous tracks from the Treasure series. An important lyric to note in the Inception music video is "Dreaming in a Dream." The members are stuck in a dream, but the dream is not their own because Hongjun can control it with the hourglass. The girl is also able to control their dreams, and Hongjun is connected to her. The girl has also gotten in contact with some members, Yo-sung and Songhwa, and she symbolizes freedom. Also hidden in the lyrics of the B-sides are the words moon and crescent. From Hongjun's monitor colors we are led to crescent party posters that can have two meanings. First, the symbolism of the moon, which hints that the members are in a time loop, and second, the crescent track from EP3, which confirms the presence of multiple dimensions, the girl's identity, and dreams being the gateway to those dimensions. Although Inception MV does not show Hala ATEEZ through the images of fire and red lights, we are reminded of the lyrical connections of Hala ATEEZ to fire. The red lighting is reminiscent of Hala MV. Hala ATEEZ cannot show up because of the presence of water that the members are dancing in. Thus any lyrical hint toward water, for example Wave title track or other B-sides, is a form of protection against Hala ATEEZ. The water is an archetypal symbol of loyalty and truth that protects real ATEEZ from Hala ATEEZ. Finally, member roles. First, Songhwa still knows about the multiple dimensions as seen in his monitor. The monitor, like in the Fever film, shows Say My Name MV, which is a part of the story that has not happened yet in the Inception timeline. However, another hint that we got is that there is a tiny hourglass on his desk. The hourglass, as I mentioned in my Fever film theory and here, is Hongjun's representative symbol. If Songhwa is also connected to the hourglass, then he may also be able to see multiple dimensions. Second, Wooyoung and Mingyi are in alliance already. In Wooyoung's dreams he sees Mingyi. This I am not 100% sure about. Originally I thought that Wooyoung and Mingyi teamed up in Say My Name. However, if the timelines of Inception and Say My Name overlap as hinted in Songhwa's monitor, then it is possible that they teamed up earlier. Yo-sung is still the key bearer and good, the girl that represents freedom visited him which protects him from Hala ATEEZ. We also get hints that Yo-sung and Hongjun may be connected. If Yo-sung possesses the key as I previously theorized for the Treasure series and Fever film, he is connected to Hongjun, who is the only member in the Inception music video that wears a lock on his neck. Lastly, this music video definitively confirms that Hongjun can see dreams and control them. He is the only one who can see himself in the bed in the corridor. He breaks through and enters into the dream world. At the end of the MV he is in the dream world, specifically Yoonho's. We can see that it is Yoonho's dream world because of the tire marks on the ground. Thus Hongjun and Yoonho are in an alliance hinted through not only the monitors, but also Hongjun entering Yoonho's dream. To conclude, like I always say, this new Fever series is connected Treasure series. It may provide more answers about how timelines are created and how the members' goals are saved or not. I know this was super lengthy, but once I started I just kept on going and finding new things. Of course, I still have many things unanswered. But remember, this is just a theory, and the real credits go to the boys in KQ. I am just a proud ATEEZ that may be a clowntiny. However, that's it for this theory and thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe or share this with fellow ATEEZ. If not, that's okay, but I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time. Let's support ATEEZ as much as we can in this comeback.